During this pandemic, we're seeing so many of you come out in support of your community and our country. It makes me think of those here on the Homefront who stepped up to help when the country and community needed them during World War II.
If you want your country free, don't be an absentee.
One thing can be said about our country: when faced with adversity, Americans come together. During World War II, that meant giving up metal and rubber items for the war effort. Food shortages called for victory gardens, and with no men in the factories,
I'm proud of women.
Women like Virginia Kramer of Silver Grove, Kentucky, found themselves going to work at Wright Aeronautical, in this very building where GE Aviation resides today in Evendell.
They put me on this CAM machine. Now, a CAM to me didn't mean a darn thing.
But it did mean a lot to the war effort and for Virginia, who had a special pen pal serving overseas.
My mother said, now the war's going on and these guys they're worried. The least you can do is to send a letter once in a while to these guys.
The person she wrote to, Ed Gerhardstein, a next-door neighbor who wrote a letter to his mother in June of 1944.
I guess even the Homefront has its military secrets. I am speaking of a picture of herself that Virginia Kramer sent me. Egad, how that girl has grown. It never dawned on me that she's not a kid anymore.
Donna is Virginia's middle child, reading one of a collection of letters her father sent home to her grandmother during the war.
They weren't into all of that for any fame or glory or nothing. They did what they had to do.
While Ed continued serving, Virginia continued to write and work until the end of the war.
The day the war ended, that night, the place closed up.
Just like that.
That's how quick. I still can't believe that. How they closed that place up in a matter of 10 hours.
And that was it.
That was it. That was it. There was no more rights.
Ed and Virginia continued their letters, building on their friendship, their courtship, and eventual marriage.
And he helped raise 12 children.
12 kids that grew into 41 grandchildren and 53 great-grandchildren. Going back for a second to the work Virginia did in the factory,
I never knew where that part went. I always wondered.
That wonder would be solved about 5 years ago when she went to a Rosie the Riveter event at Lunken Airport.
I went over and I looked at that sucker, and I looked at it, and here it was right in the front, right in the nose of that plane.
More than 310,000 women worked in the aircraft industry during the war. Other women helped with munitions. We certainly appreciate their support.